So your wash station box is going to come fully assembled. There's nothing that you need to put together. However, when we unpack the box, we'll show you what it contains. So of course the box itself, the instruction manual, which is super easy to follow. It's just going to be startup, shutdown, how to mount it, and the parts that are involved. Inside your little bag here, you're going to have 2 lanyards, 2 wireless remotes, of course some SaltScon stickers, the mounting hardware, as well as the 304 stainless steel screws. So take everything out of the box, follow the directions, and it's super easy to set up. All right, so at this point, you've already got your box hung up on your garage wall, your dock, wherever it's gonna be. In this case, we're just using one of our retail stands. What you can see here though, is that the post is not as wide as the box is. So we actually didn't use the 4 clips that it comes with. But what we did was we actually took those same 304 stainless screws, we drew a couple pilot holes in the back of the box, and we used them to secure it to the post. First thing we got to do before we're ready to run the box is we need to prime it. So what that means is we have to get all the air from shipping that's in this hose and up in this hose out of the box. We're going to make sure that we have our hose and the filter all the way submerged in the product. In this case, we're just using a gallon jug so y'all can clearly see what's going on, but you would use a 5-gallon pail or a larger piece of packaging for it. So once we have that, you'll notice the hose going to your hand doesn't have anything on it right now. That makes it easy to prime the pump. We don't want to have any resistance. And we've also got the water off to the box right now. So when we're ready to prime, we're just going to open up the metering valve all the way. We're going to hit the on button. And at this point, you see a little bit of SaltScon that's coming out of the hose. That just simply means that it's primed, right? We've now filled up all the void and there's no more air in the system. Now we're ready to hook our hose up. So this is gonna be the hose that we hold in our hand, and this is actually gonna be what we're spraying with. The other hose is just simply your water supply hose. Now we've got our hose hooked up. What we're gonna do here is essentially we're pairing our nozzle size. It doesn't matter what size nozzle you use, but we're gonna pair that with the metering valve. This is the water inlet. We're gonna go ahead and turn the water on. So now we have water coming out of our hose. We're gonna turn the box on either with the remote. I prefer to do it with the switch when I'm working on doing this. So we're gonna turn it on. And when we start spraying, you'll hear the pump come on. So if we back this out, we hear the pump come on faster. If we bring this in closer, we hear the pump come on slower. And all we're doing is we're just gonna pair it so that the pump comes on roughly once a second or so. We're working to pair this nozzle size with the water pressure coming in and the flow of the pump. So another little real helpful thing to do is you can also turn this guy a little bit, and that'll help you get even more control out of the pump. Now in this case, it looks like it's slowed down, and all we did was just slow it down a hair, but it hasn't affected the water pressure, right? So you've got 2 main places that you can control it. If you've got extremely high water pressure, we'll show in another video or in another part about actually using a pressure regulator if you've got extremely high water pressure as well. So we'll go ahead and turn the box off here at the top. It's gonna take somewhere between 10 and 30 seconds to switch between SaltScon and water. So once you begin using it, you're gonna become familiar with it and know when to shut it off ahead of time. But remember, it has to clear out everything in this length of hose. So the longer your hose, the longer it'll take to shut off. So now with our remote in our hand, when we're ready to start spraying SaltScon, we'll turn the pump on. We'll go ahead and squeeze the trigger. And you'll notice again, within a short period of time, we're gonna have SaltScon and water coming through the hose. And then when we're ready to shut off, we're just gonna hit the off button. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 30 seconds, we're gonna transition back over to fresh water. So one of my favorite things about the wash station box is being able to tee it off so that you can run more than one hose at a time. So where's this really nice? When you wanna flush your boat motors while you're rinsing the rest of the boat, or in kind of what we have set up here, if we wanna be able to wash the underside of the vehicles while we're rinsing the outside of the vehicles. Very simple why you can pick up at any hardware store. We'll open them up, use the remote, turn the wash station on, and now we've got product to be able to rinse the exterior of the vehicles while the underside is being rinsed as well. If you want to shut either of them off, just close the one off, open the other one up. Super easy, still turns on and off the exact same way. All right, so what we threw in here, it goes just right in line. This is a pressure regulator. It's for the inlet water supply. So what the pressure regulator allows is for people, if you had really high water pressure, for some reason you had 70 or 80 PSI water pressure, even 50 or 60, you just have very high water pressure, and you want to either be using small nozzles or you're just getting big pressure spikes in the system, you're just going to add this very simple regulator. So the way they work is lefty loosey, righty tighty. So just a Phillips head screwdriver and you'll adjust the pressure. Now what's most important about it is you'll want to adjust the pressure so that while you're spraying with whatever nozzle you want, it's going to be at 30 PSI. So you'll adjust this regulator while you're actually spraying. Don't adjust it before you spray. You're going to adjust it while you're spraying. And when you do that, you'll have the ultimate control over everything in the box.